We told you about a theater class that won wide acclaim for its production of the circuit. This past summer, they took their show on the road all the way to Scotland. Let's hear what that was like from some of the cast members.
All right, let's get places, please. Quiet in the house.
It's a mighty long road that my poor hands have pulled. My poor feet have traveled a long, dusty road.
The book is Francisco Jimenez's autobiography of growing up a migrant worker in the Santa Maria Valley primarily, but this title of the circuit refers to the work circuit that the migrants would go on between Bakersfield, Fresno, and Santa Maria. The circuit began as an idea, I think it was in the fall of '02, and we premiered our first production in this building a year later as part of a class that we developed around the idea of touring this show, which would integrate Latinos and whites.
My name is Francisco. But growing up, everyone called me Pancho or Panchito. As a boy, I lived in a small village in Mexico, at Rancho Blanco.
And then we ended up going in from February through May on about a 24-stop tour through the county, mostly in schools. At the end of that tour, we were invited, because I applied, to the American High School Theatre Festival's trip to Edinburgh Scotland's Fringe Festival. And in August, we flew to Scotland and performed there 4 times over 10 days.
The trip was amazing. It went by so fast.
It was totally awesome.
Yeah, the experience of Scotland was one that it was unique.
It was amazing.
It was interesting being in Edinburgh, because living in San Ynez Valley, really secluded, really so being in Edinburgh, seeing vast things, different shows about what other people see, and especially from around the country, even just in the United States, because other high schools performing. But seeing how it is in Scotland compared to here in California, it was just crazy. I learned a lot, being more open-minded and not so confined to one direction.
It was beautiful there. It hardly rained at all. We were actually talking about it when we got back, and I was commenting on how it was interesting to be in a city that's older than my country.
You were able to see other people, how they act, other groups, other people, see different cultures, where they come from, how they are, something out of the norm.
I think I learned a lot about theater and just how you have to adapt to different spaces and stuff like that.
Scotland was, wow. I think we did our best performances of the circuit there too, because we were all pumped and really wanted to show the story, and because Leo Cortez was there, the writer of the play, we really wanted to make him proud. So he kind of worked us through the play and got us to really understand the characters, which was a really nice, a new level that we got to in our acting.
Performing overseas was, well, incredible. It didn't feel any different. It felt grounded because of the theater. It was something we knew what we were doing, and I think that really helped to not make it feel like such an alien trip and like we were foreigners, because we had a niche, we had somewhere to go and to belong and to do something.
I think that a lot of us grew closer together in Scotland than we had ever during the whole year, and I definitely got to know a lot of my cast members very differently, and I realized that people there are very different, and I think I grew not only as a person but as a performer as well, and it was just really, really fun. I would definitely do it again.
The theater there was amazing. I saw some amazing shows. Had a really good time.
People living off the land and using the skills we were born with. Then the work started.
I think it opened up the possibility to a lot of them of perhaps a career in performance, but more importantly, I heard a few of them actually say, well, I'm coming back here to study. or I want to come back to the festival next year. So I think a broadening of the worldview right away, and especially seeing themselves more as and this might sound trite, but as global citizens, you know, that they're not just kids in the valley growing up, that we're part of this larger, you know, massive humanity that lives on more than one continent and thinks differently than we do.
I don't know. Hopefully, when I graduate next year, I'm gonna try out for PCPA, and hopefully I get in, do that for 2 years, and seeing I can do college abroad somewhere. 'Cause where we stayed at University of Edinburgh, I really like that. So hopefully, if I raise enough money, do something like that. I'd like to go somewhere in the UK to go study.
I'm not planning on going into professional acting at all, but I'm really interested in journalism, and I think being a theater critic would possibly do me quite well.
I do plan to pursue theater in any aspect, hopefully. You know, there's just all the little nicks of it. The writing, the directing, the costuming, the lighting. It all comes together to form a whole, and it's also important. And it's just really interesting.
Yes, I like acting a lot, but I know the career is sometimes runs short. And even though it might be fun to do on the side, but it wouldn't be my full career.
I'd like to audition for PCPA. That'd be pretty cool. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll just go to college and maybe take theater classes.
And gradually allow it to become external. I want you to describe as a stream of consciousness where you were and what was happening. You don't have to.
My teacher, Mr. McKinnon. Mr. McKinnon is a really awesome guy. He's not, the relationships we have with him is not so much like a teacher-student relationship. It's more like a friend and he's like an older student really, and he's like one of those teachers that you can just really talk to, and he understands, and he's just a really good person.
Oh, I love Mr. McKinnon. He's great. He's funny. Like, he's my teacher here, but like outside when we're in Edinburgh in Scotland and like New York and stuff, he's like, I consider him personally one of my best friends. I talk to him about everything, anything, and he's helped me through a lot. So like he's helped me personally, like through a lot of hard times I have out of this whole 3 years. McKinnon's always been there and helping me out, trying to do everything he could to get me to Edinburgh, get me to still be in theater, get me to still be in the school. So personally, I think he's one of the finest men I've ever met.
He's a great teacher. Like, I don't think anyone else could make me want to pursue something like drama more than Mr. McKinnon does. He kind of makes drama like a reflection on like your life, and he helps you like express yourself to like the utmost of your abilities that you can't really do in some like essay. He's a good teacher.
I think he's amazing. He is my mentor and my friend. He's the reason I stayed in high school. He's an inspiration to all of us, and he works very hard, and I've had a lot of fun working with him.
It just transcended anything I'd ever done before, as far as seeing the result in front of my eyes. We tend to be more fatalistic than we think about the possibility of things like this happening. There are great opportunities out there. I've been saying it, you know, for 2 years. This whole thing has been like a small miracle.
That's all the time we have. We'll close our show with our calendar of events.